love and happiness. Yeah.
Love and Happiness's mission is to help 1 million couples. Dr. Vandy and Barbara Coulter are committed to reaching this goal. Love and Happiness has helped thousands over the years through their couples retreats hosted in various cities. Their popular Central Florida TV show, Love and Happiness, has been syndicated in several states. Their best-selling book, Love and Happiness: The Secrets to Creating Winning Relationships, has helped singles and couples alike learn how to build better relationships. It's no surprise that the Coulters are in high demand. Relationship subject matter experts featured on talk shows and national radio looking for real relationship talk. The Coulters' virtual retreats, social media platforms, Facebook live streams, and relationship masterclasses have put their mission to help 1 million couples in their sights. Dr. Vandy Coulter, Ph.D., a certified counselor with presidential status in the American Association of Christian Counselors, has a virtual counseling practice that serves CEOs, pastors, entrepreneurs, individuals, and couples who want their relationship to go from bad to good or good to great. Dr. Vandy has been featured on Fox, CBS, NBC, their national affiliates, and various media for the impact from his virtual counseling as a response to the relational health crisis during the COVID pandemic. Dr. Barbara Coulter, real estate investor and serial entrepreneur, complements and contributes to what makes Love and Happiness the perfect blend of real talk and fun. Our motto is no one gets their happily ever after. They create their happily ever after. After the hurt, after the disappointment, you can still be happy. And Love and Happiness is just what you need to have.
Love is. Wait a minute.
There we go.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey,
Facebook family, how are you? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday.
what's up?
Happy Saturday. We're tired, but here we are.
I'm sure some of y'all are too.
Yes.
So I'm sure
So,
you feel that.
so today we're going to have a great show once again.
Yeah.
It's called Do You Have Good or Bad Love Habits?
Yeah.
Do you have good or bad love habits?
Some habits are supposed to be broken, and other habits should be built.
Right.
Definitely.
And sometimes we don't even know we have bad love habits. We just
Right.
get into the groove or the grind of our day, and we don't know that we're dropping the ball, throughout the day. And some of us have good love habits. We just keep it moving. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that. So
Yeah.
chime in.
Yeah, and yeah, love to know whether you think you've got some good habits to share. We're going to share some of the things that we think are good habits that we do and that we've observed in just general relationship. And we're going to also talk about some of the bad habits that need to be broken, because the thing about a habit like you talked about is people don't understand a lot of times that they're doing them.
Right.
And the reason that's like really important to talk about is it's hard to fix what you don't recognize, So if the person is saying, I don't like the way you talk to me, and it's habitual and it's regular, but the other person doesn't see that as a bad habit.
It's natural at first. It's like a natural thing for them because that's how they communicate.
They're not going to change.
Right.
They're not going to change their habits. They're not going to change. And you'll be always frustrated and saying, like, you can't see that the way you're talking to me, or you can't see the way that you're making decisions or doing something, and if it's just a habit, sometimes we take it personal and it's really not, but they just may be more paying attention to it when they talk to other people. So you're like, well, you don't do it to everybody else.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But they let their guard down with the person close to them. So why don't you start with some of the good habits, I guess. Well, you want to do good or bad first? I think you want to do the bad first because you paused.
No, we can do good.
You sure?
No, you can do the bad because I'm going to do the good.
We could do good and bad together.
Okay. That's good. I think some of the good habits is to show respect.
Okay.
You can say you have respect for your mate or your spouse or your boo, but it's one thing to say it. It's another whole thing to show it.
Okay.
So I think show respect. And it's not that, It just doesn't matter how long you've been together, whether it's 5 days, 5 months, 5 years, 50 years, you have to maintain that respect level.
So role play respect as a habit to me.
Right. I mean,
what does it look like? Give me an example.
It looks like showing respect. You never let your guard down. People don't have to, sometimes we let people closest to us, we let them know how if we're like disgusted with something, we'll like, it could be disrespect how you show like, I'm disgusted.
Okay,
versus if you disgusted with someone else, you know, a coworker, a boss, or someone you reverence, you're not gonna show it. But your mate, you just like, you know, you could just, sometimes you just show disrespect. Like I hear a lot of men say that their wife don't respect them, their woman don't respect them, their boo don't respect them. She, you know, she'll curse me out, or yes, I've heard that, or she'll slam the door, or she'll just diss me in front of her friends. That's disrespect. So it doesn't matter how long you've been with that person, you gotta always show respect to them.
And I think to go with that, with the way that if I would have role play out respect, it would be saying, let me role play and show you how to be considerate. Because if I can consider how you feel, if I role play it out and we role play just being considerate, meaning using those same points you made, you know, slamming the door or talking the wrong way. All you have to do is consider, would I like that happening to me? You know what I mean? If you can look at your behavior objectively or step back from it and say, you know what, I wouldn't want that to be done to me. I wouldn't want to be belittled in front of my friends. I wouldn't want, you know, being considerate is to me, that's the role play to start making a good habit of respecting each other. Because all you have to do is think about if they did it to you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
But a lot of people who, when they're dishing it out, if they're like you know, they just, that's how they are, their characters.
Right.
Because normally opposite attracts.
So now you're doing the bad, but I thought we was doing the good.
Okay.
So you just slipped into the bad.
I did.
So if we're doing bad, bad meaning bad and bad meaning good, let me know. I'm just saying. So in the context of you picking good first, I'm saying, you know, that you need to be able to consider and role play it out. I was trying to think. There was a couple I was counseling and recently, and the situation was so clear that you wouldn't want your wife to do that to you. You know, you just wouldn't want that. But in their eyes, they seemed like they didn't see it as I was being disrespectful in any way. Until we role played it out with the opposite, it became real clear, like, yeah, I really wouldn't want that. It all of a sudden moved from, I don't know, it probably wouldn't bother me that much to all of a sudden, I really, I see it. So sometimes just considering the other person is a way that you can build a better habit before you kind of communicate or interact. So what's another one of your positive good habits for people in a relationship?
Is express your love throughout the day.
Hey, Lewis and Demola.
Throughout the day. So
Demola.
Sometimes I just need to hear my husband's voice. He doesn't have to say anything, although everything he says is significant. But it doesn't have to be a conversation. If I'm like having a tough day, or I need to connect, I need just to hear his voice. I think just hearing your mate's voice. It doesn't have to be anything, you know, no conversation. Just, I need to hear you tell me you love me. I just need to hear your voice. It calms me. It soothes me.
Okay.
And I think that's a good habit too.
It is. And my thought about that was literally in the same space about being intentional about intimacy and friendship, where whether it's just building on the connection by hearing each other's voice in a positive way with good energy, or sweet sounds, you know, it could just be, you know, just the soft conversation of, you know, how's your day, leaving out the crazy and just talking about it's always better when we're together. It always feels let's, you know,
we're on vacation right now, just something that's to connect. And my husband, we actually do it to each other because he'll call me throughout the day. I miss you, to hear your voice, and I do the same thing. So.
And the funny thing is you'll say, you know, I just want to run away with you right now.
Yeah, I always say that.
And my response is always the same. It's like we're already there. Meaning it's not physical location, it's our intimacy and our friendship.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to convey to you that you know, a lot of times people take vacations and breaks because they're just trying to make the relationship better, and they're just trying to, you know,
their second win.
Yeah, get get their relational second win. A lot of times you can put the problems away because you got the trip coming,
right?
And then when you come back, you're unpacking the problems as well as the, you know, your clothes. And I'm saying we're already there because the destination is really to be happy together. That's really what it is, to be happy. And since we're already happy, and when you say it, you're saying it in the context like, I want to get away from everything, and I'm like, well, let's focus on us because we're where we want to be. So if life around us doesn't like steal us from each other, we're winning. That's how I look at it. Yeah. So that's a good thing.
Yes. Okay. The third thing is never let your love die. You're responsible for your love. You need to show I love you versus say I love you, because a lot of times I've talked to many people, you know, they'll say I love you, you know I love you, but they're not showing it. And I think you're responsible to not let your love die for that other person. You're responsible for it. However you have to rekindle it, don't let it die. You're responsible for it. And
so how do you role play that out? Like again, because we're talking about habits, and if we look at it from the standpoint of habits, then they're repeated on a regular basis. They happen without you knowing it. And the only way that it becomes a habit is I do it through repetition. I do it all the time. So with regards to, you know, not letting the love die, what's some of the things that you can do regularly without like making it a yoke, without trying to make it oh man, I gotta do this.
No, it could be something like no money. It could be, you know, I used to always automatically just, you know, just rub your feet.
Let's do free stuff.
Rub your feet, rub your back.
Yeah.
After a long day or whatever, that's my little thing I do for my husband. And my feet are always attached to his hands because he knows it's like. What's
a foot doctor's name? Podiatrist. What's a foot doctor's name? Whatever. If it's a podiatrist.
But showing.
I got a PhD, but I also got a doctorate in podiatry
but showing it, it's like, you know, after a long day I come in and I rub your back or I rub your feet. You go, I know you're tired too.
So I get like 2 back rubs a month. He gets like foot rubs like 20 times a month.
So if I don't get home till 9 o'clock.
So
but my point is showing your mate, your spouse, you love them. It can be little things. It can be just anything, just to show them.
Let me take it into a space that you'll really relate to, because you have some habits that you just have that absolutely send the message that you love me. It's a good love habit. So one of the habits that you have is, no matter what time or circumstances, when we hit the bed, you always sometimes back it up, but other times just curl up. But it's always, I'm finding you. You know what I mean? So that's a good habit. That's a good love habit, because you're always
on the opposite side of the bed.
Yeah. So you're not on the other side of the bed type of thing. Generally, like 90% of the time, it's like I'm magnetized. You're metal and I'm a magnet, and it just and so I love that. You know, from the very beginning of our marriage, you know, 20 years ago to now, I love that, because that's a good habit. You know what I mean? That's a habit of connection.
Yes, it is.
So I think when you make habits that allow you to connect, those are the kind of things you want to do. So whether it's like, you know, we curl up, we watch TV together, curled up, and whether or not we're just in the bed just talking, it's connected. Those are good habits, because the world has so many things to take your energy and focus, and even create other habits where you get in the habit of not being connected,
not talking,
right?
You know, not you know, don't touch me because I'm tired. You're tired. Just you know, I just need a break. Don't touch me, you know, or whatever. So I've never heard that. Thank God.
So a good habit that I think also, and then we'll cover a few bad habits to hopefully help someone go, that needs to change. The last one I'm putting out, and if you have another, you feel free. But is to basically spend time together in a way that gets you away from everything that's regular, without booking a flight, where you just travel together. You just take a drive together. It's a good habit to break the monotony of, you know, eat, work, sleep, that kind of stuff. But to really just travel together, whether it's to walk the mall, you know, we love walking in furniture stores. That's our thing. We just walking in, and our home is fully furnished. We couldn't buy something other than a piece of something here or there, but it's still fun because when we didn't have a home fully furnished, we would walk furniture stores and dream and just be like, oh, I want that. And ooh, you know, that's my car in the back of the window when you're little. And so we still enjoy just seeing, you know, seeing the furniture and all that kind of stuff. So getting out together, you know, not necessarily for tasks, but really for friendship and connection. And I think that's a good habit that we have.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about some of the bad habits. All right. Now, you always like me to be the bad guy. So let's just flip some of the habits that people have in relationship. One is that they are unintentionally hurting each other as a habit, meaning they really don't want to hurt each other because they love each other, but they are without it, you know, because habits are almost on the subconscious level. It's a habit. You don't have to think about it. They are not creating the relationship they really want in the midst of their desire. They deep down, they desire, we communicate, we get along, we love each other, we laugh together, but all the habits they have literally create a different outcome, you know? So sometimes they have a habit of just being negative, you know, without
on purpose.
Right. They're not thinking, I want to be negative, but everything is in the space you have with each other. You only have maybe, you know, a few hours together. And if you're not intentional about putting positive energy in that, it really can become just like, all right, we could just really stop talking. You know, this is just, all we're doing is talking about issues, and all we're talking about is another thing to do. And all we're talking about is weights, and we're measuring, and it's just, it's exhausting. You ever be in those kind of conversations that's exhausting, where you just like, man, this is exhausting. But those things can easily become bad habits in the relationship that you don't even realize that you both are exhausting each other because you can't find air pockets to breathe, let alone air in the relationship. Right. So I think if there's going to be some things that you can just take a step back and say, I'm going to be intentional about realizing that if we just talk about negativity, our relationship
will be
negative.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I agree 100%. And sometimes, you know, the Bible says out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And so if you have all that issue swirling, which is true, this is going to vomit. You're just going to vomit every time. Like, I gotta get it out. But, you know, you are actually you're doing this justice to your relationship, because he said you need to, you know, positively feeds positivity.
Yeah, so, and I think another bad habit, because I'm gonna knock out a couple real quick, is that some people have a bad habit of burying all the issues on a regular basis, like a dog who catches a bone and goes in the backyard, buries it, then gets another bone, buries it. And you ever see those old, you know, movies or cartoons where the backyard or that area is just covered with dirt, mounds of dirt, because they buried all the bones that they had versus eating it, working through it, figuring it out. So I think it's a bad habit to leave so many things unresolved in the relationship. Right. Because it's like you can't suppress all that negative and disappointment or issues and think you're going to like sprout positivity.
Or expect one day not to just explode. And then your partner's like, whoa, where is this coming from? Remember 1985, 1972, you did this. And then you can't fully give your love in 2021 because everything has been suppressed.
Yeah, and more importantly, you did something most people don't do. When they blow up, you went right to the issue. Well, back in 1981, most people, when they blow up, they're blowing up over the spilled milk, but they're really upset about 1981, and they can't even pinpoint it to say,
what's going on?
Let's stop for a second. I'm really upset about 6 years ago, 6 weeks ago, 6 days ago. Most people will just blow up because they're so frustrated, and all you see is the explosion, and you never see the device that created it. You just can't find the the grenade anymore, because all you see is shrapnel. And so, it's such a bad habit to keep suppressing and putting things off. But here's the other side, because someone watching would say, I want to deal with it, but my mate won't deal with it. We can't deal with it. So where do I go if my mate can't see where, how this is affecting me, and how it's affecting, how it's affecting our relationship. So the first thing that I would tell that person, if they're saying, okay, we got these things, it's obvious, we blow up, we're upset, we can't resolve it, I don't understand, why can't we fix it? And more importantly, it's like eggshells now, I can't talk about it, can't do this. That's what I call minefields. We call minefields, and minefields are those things that if you step on, they blow up, right? So one of the things that I can tell you without the customization of counseling, because you're right, counseling is like a tailor-made suit. It's going to fit your situation, your specific issues. What I can say to you is, what I would say in a general sense is, if you both have love and you no longer have happiness because everything is suppressed and blowing up, or this, that, and the other, I would say to one person, whether it's male or female, you're going to need to cast vision before you start trying to resolve the circumstance. And by that, what I mean is this: if you know that this season is killing us because we got all this stuff buried and we're always stepping on each other and hurting each other, you're going to have to cast a vision to say, you know what, how cool would it be for us to really be on the other side of these issues and in love? How cool would it be for us to just, what do you think? Do you think life would be really, really beautiful if we can just, really just kind of get along and not just have to fake it till we make it, but we really, because I really want to see, and you try not to throw any shade to the other person in your vision casting. Meaning you don't cast them as a vision, as a villain in the vision. You got to be like, I just think we could be so connected. I see a future of us. And while they might be like, well, yeah, if you get yourself together, you can say, no, but I just want you to dream with me for a second. I know I have to improve, and I think you need to improve. And if not, let's just talk about this future that we both are better versions of each other. And you just keep trying to get them to get off of you and look up and go, yeah, that'd be nice. Once you can finally, if they're easy to just say, yeah, that's what I want. I'm tired of all this fighting. Or if they're halfway in, like, well, if that's what we can get to. Or if they're negative and they're just like, yeah, if you get your act together, because I'm sick of it, I almost want to leave you. Whatever it takes, if you can kind of get that vision to take over, or at least cover the eyes for a second of the issues, that gives you an opportunity then to say, one of the things I think that's keeping us from getting there is, we just got to start, either forgiving each other, or we got to resolve some stuff. And if you can get them to just see how awesome it is to forgive, or how awesome it is to really not just suppress it, but to let it go, that's what forgiveness is. It means to let it go. Then it gives you a chance to start, breaking that bad habit of just, suppressing and burying stuff. And when it comes back up, you get to say, okay, now we talked about having this future, and these are the things, this moment right here is an opportunity for us. And if we use it as an opportunity, and I always am, intentional about saying the word opportunity, because it gives you a chance. An opportunity gives you an invitation. Right. And if you say, you know what, if we can just, if we have this opportunity where we can get there, this right here, this disagreement is actually an opportunity for us to show we're more interested in being happy than hurting each other. And then the other person could say, yeah, I want to be more happy. So is it always going to work? No, because everybody's circumstances are different, which is why the individual counseling is so powerful. When you have certain pockets of your relationship that look like that one drawer in the kitchen that has all that stuff in it that you just like, I don't even know what's in here. You're like, how do we have, wire cutters in here? What is this for? It's like, it's crazy. So a lot of times the way you unpack that is specifically, but generally speaking, there are ways you can start to build better habits. What? You thinking about our junk drawer?
No, but you're right.
We can go and let's make a deal with our junk drawer. They be like, I need somebody with a map of Mississippi. Go to our junk drawer. You ever been to Mississippi? Nope, but I know we got one in here. It's like, yeah, it's yeah.
But I think what you're saying is awesome. certainly it would work. I think it also would take a certain level of maturity to even to really articulate that. You got to be so self-aware of who you are that you can go, let me go ahead and just pull my mate out, let me get myself together. I mean, everyone cannot dissect themselves or just do a
see themselves. Yeah, they can't even see themselves
to bring themselves together to go get,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. But the benefit of what we do here with the live is it, there's so many videos here on our page, and you should follow our page, this page, Love and Happiness, and check out some of the other video topics, because it's all, just short conversations, as we're about to close this one, about just little things that if you just keep feeding yourself, the keys, or feeding yourself options, you actually can, with the videos especially, you can stop on something that you go, now this is really us, now let's talk about this, and you can make it something just like reading a book together. You read something and then you just say, let's talk about how this, how we feel about this.
And you know what, I could say this, it's just these habits are something that are taught. You don't automatically have them in you. These tools and different tactics that we share each week. It's just it's wealthy. It's a wealth place that you're pulling this information from, because a lot of us don't have good examples when we're growing up of good healthy relationships, and so it's okay to say, you know what, my parents were divorced, my parents were never married. I didn't learn these things growing up. So watching our show is actually good, because it's like great healthy habits.
Because to your point, because you're right, more things are caught than taught.
Right.
But more importantly, the things that we're sharing, one of the things that I feel that makes our conversation just very, very powerful, and I think sets us apart in many ways, is we're not just talking about ideas.
Right.
You're getting the benefit in most of the regards of the years of my training as a professional counselor, just watered down in a conversation that flows. And then when my wife's giving you something, she's giving it to you from her, counseling and ministry. And I've done that for 20 years, but I've also professionally counseled. So you're really getting tools versus ideals.
Absolutely.
Like these are things that actually work for people in the, but we got to kind of make it broad brush. And so it's almost like more Mr. Miyagi. You're getting it without realizing you're getting it, because without knowing your specific dynamics, we can't really, I couldn't, what kind of doctor would diagnose you if you say, doctor, I just feel a little weird? And they'd be like, all right, take some penicillin, take some amoxicillin, take some, we're going to get some x-rays. I just said, I feel weird. They got to get that history. They got to find out, exactly where the pain points are.
Right.
So everything is different. So, but you do get the benefit of some real wise counsel, and the benefit of training, actual tools that are used in live stuff. And it has actually helped us in our life.
Absolutely.
In our relational life. So we're glad that you was with us. Please follow us, stay with us. And again, check out some of the other videos. They're there. They'll bless you. You have a wonderful time. And we'll see you next Saturday.
And if you have something you want us to talk about, please shoot us a text, an email.
Yeah. Hey, at least, hey, Nisi. All right. So, we're out. We're out.
Till next week.
Bye-bye.